This is it. This is the Moabites and the Ammonites. The first mention of the Moabites and the Ammonites in the Bible is in Genesis chapter 19, verses 37 and 38. The passage reads, "The older daughter had a son, and she named him Moab. He is the father of the Moabites. The younger daughter also had a son, and she named him Ben-Ammon. He is the father of the Ammonites." That's Genesis chapter 19, verses 37 to 38. The first instance of encountering the word Moab and Ammon, the Ammonites. From this we see that Moab descends from Lot's older daughter, and the Ammonites descends from Lot's younger daughter. And this is all through incest. The Moabites and the Ammonites, they're cousins, and they occupied land east of the Jordan River. And that land was near the Arnon River and the Jabac River. The Arnon River and the Jabac River, they are two tributaries of the Jordan River. And that's the location of the Moabite Kingdom and the Ammonite Kingdom. One thing that we must keep in mind is that the Moabites and the Ammonites, they were and are not Caucasians, and their kingdoms were never located in the Middle East. They was never located in Southwest Asia. You see, those territories in Southwest Asia, in the Middle East, that's the land of cavemen, of beings who are not human. But the Moabites and the Ammonites, they were and they are black people. They are the Shemites. They are cousins of the Hebrews. The Moabites and Ammonites are cousins, and the Hebrews, along with the Moabites and Ammonites, all three are cousins. They are genetically related to each other. They all descend from Shem. But the word Moab, spelled M-O-A-B, it is constantly defined incorrectly. Strong's Concordance gives the definition of Moab as a son of Lot. Also his descendants and the territory where they settled. This definition from Strong's is incorrect. That is not the definition nor meaning of Moab. The word Moab is the Ivri word. Ivri is Hebrew. It's the Ivri word, the Ivri letters, M and B. You remove the vowels, remove the A and the O, and the letter M and the letter B. That is the Ivri word, the Hebrew word for Moab. The M is the Ivri Mem, and the B is the Ivri Bet, spelled B-E-Y-T. Mem is spelled M-E-M. And Mem, that's the picture of water. The meaning is water, chaos, mighty, and blood. Bet is the picture of a tent, and the meaning is family, house, and inn. And when we put these every letters together, that will give us the correct meaning of Moab. It will let us know what the original black Jews, the original black Hebrews, what they were saying, what they were conveying. And in this passage, it will let us know what the daughters of Lot, the original black Hebrews, what they were saying. And we must also define Moab in light of the saying of Lot's daughters. You see, what Lot's daughters said makes clear the meaning of Moab and of Ammon or Ammon, which is what we call Ammonites. What Lot's older daughter and the younger daughter, what they said, gives the meaning, and it makes it clear of what both names mean, of what Moab mean, of what Ammonite mean. The daughters of Lot, the older daughter, said the following: "Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him." And this is the part that's going to give the meaning and make clear the definition of these names. "We will lie with him that we may preserve seed of our father." And I say that again, that we may preserve seed of our father. And that's significant. That phrase, preserve seed of our father, is important. The part where the older daughter says, preserve seed of our father, that's important, and that's going to help us to understand the meaning of Moab and Ammonite. Thus, preserving seed of our father. This phrase, it is the intention of both daughters, and it is the origin of both names, the name Moab and Ammon or Ammon. So the mem in Moab means seed. The water, the definition or the defining of Moab in the sense of water, it is not the literal water, but water meaning a sea of people. And throughout the Bible, in the Old and New Testament, water often takes on that meaning. Water means a sea of people. It can be the literal water or a sea of people, meaning many, many people. And it is taking on the second sense of a sea of people in this passage. So Moab means seed. And since it means seeds, the idea of water must be consistent with the meaning of seed. So water means a sea of people. And all of this refers to the offspring. And when we add the blood in the mem, that's referring to the lineage. It is adding more emphasis. It is adding more emphasis on offspring. And the B, the bet, spelled B-E-Y-T, the bet, that refers to a house. And this passage is going to refer to the house of Lot. You see, Lot did not have any seed. And when we add the bet to the mem, and the mem in this passage is referring to a sea of people. When we add the sea of people to the house of Lot, that is going to give us the meaning of seed of Lot, the offspring of Lot. That is the meaning of the word Moab. It can mean house of Lot, where the house has a significant amount of offspring. That's the meaning of Moab. And Ammonite, the Ammon, that one, just like Moab, this word has been constantly defined incorrectly. Many scholars, they add the ayin to mem. The zayin and the ayim, they add that to the mem, which is not necessary, nor does it convey the correct meaning when you add the ayin to mem. Some scholars define Ammon as teacher or builder. Still, some define it as a people or kinsman, but all of these are incorrect. All of these are incorrect definitions of the every word Ammon, which is where we get the Ammonite from. Ammon, that is the every letters. Remove the vowels. And it's going to be the every letters, the M and the N, the Mem and the Nun. The Nun is the every N-U-N. N-U-N. The N is the N-U-N, Nun, in every. And that gives us the picture of seed. Seed. And the meaning is seed, continue here, and son. Ammon conveys the same meaning of Moab, but it does something slightly different. The mom stresses, it adds, it double ups the stress, the emphasis of producing many seed. Moab means the seed of Lot, or the house of Lot, the offspring of Lot. Whereas Ammon, it conveys a doubling up, a reproducing of many, many seed. And so the every letter mem, as we already looked at, conveys water. The water is going to be the seed of people. Blood is going to refer to the lineage. When we add the nun, the every nun to mem, nun means seed as well. We already got the seed and the seed of people and the blood in the mem. The mem conveys seed of people and blood lineage. We have that part in the mem. But the nun adds an additional part of seed and continue to the seed of people. That's the doubling up. That's the emphasis, the stressing of reproducing many, many seed. And so Ammon, it means the same as Moab, but it is slightly different in that it means a reproduction of many, many people. That's the meaning of Ammon. Producing many, many seed. And when we look at the situation, the setting, the Zitzim Laban of the daughters of Lot and of Lot himself. Lot was without any male seed. He had daughters, but they needed male, they needed boys, seeds, male, to continue the house of Lot. The daughters, they make the statement that there's no men around that they can marry. And that's the setting. That is the setting that gives the definition for the words Moab and Ammon. There's no men around. So we're going to preserve the seed of our father. And so the whole emphasis on the Moab and Ammon is seed. Preserving seed and reproducing a lot of seed for their father Lot. And when we look at the word Lot, we'll see why the daughters want to do that. The word Lot is the every letter L and T, the Lamed and the Tet, T-E-T. The Lamed gives you a picture of a staff, and the meaning is to teach, yoke, authority, and bind. Tet is the picture of a basket, and the meaning is surround, contain, and mud. When we put these letters together and we look at the situation, the setting, the zitz and Laban of Lot, we can get the correct definition and understanding of what the word Lot means. And the meaning of Lot will give us the setting, the situation of what was going on and why the daughters felt and believed what they did in preserving seed. You see the L, the Lamed, and the T, the Tet, when they're put together, the Lamed is going to refer to the father, Lot. He is the teacher. He has the authority and the yoke. He's bound to his daughters. The daughters are bound to him. So the Lamed refers to Lot himself, the male head and figure. The Tet, that refers to a basket. The basket refers to the house of Lot. But this basket, it does not contain anything. It is empty, an empty basket. And that's what the containing part in the word, every word tet, it means to contain. But the problem with Lot is that his basket is empty. It does not contain anything. It is an empty basket. And that's the problem. That is the setting that drives his daughters to say we must preserve seed, because Lot, their father, did not have any male offspring. That's number one. And number two, there was no men in the vicinity where they were that could marry their daughters. So the necessity of a male was needed. And Lot, his basket was empty of male. It was empty of a male offspring. He only had daughters. And that's the meaning of Lot. Lot, it means no male offspring. No male offspring. An empty house. That's the meaning of Lot. And the meaning of Lot, again, it gives us and it makes clear the saying and why the daughters say we must preserve seed, because Lot's house was empty of males, and there was no males around in the vicinity where they were at to marry Lot's daughters. And so Lot, L-O-T, the Lamed and the Tet, that means empty house. This is Moab. This is Aroab, spelled A-R-O-A-B. And this is a play on words. You see, the Moabites, they had a city named Ar. And this city is mentioned in Scripture in Numbers chapter 21, verse 15. This is what we find the Moabite city, Ar. And it is pronounced Ar of Moab. There was a city of the Moabite kingdom, and most likely it might have been one of the capitals of Moab. But here, the current name, the place name that is being used to cover up the true location of Moab is Aroab. Aroab. That is a play on words. What has been done is AR has been used and replaced the M in Moab. The AR is replacing the M in Moab. And this is how we get A-R-O-A-B, Aroab. So this is another evidence that let us know the true location of Moab. The evidence lies in the wording itself, the play on word, the place name that is currently used. And this place name is a result of Scramble for Africa. Aroab, place name used to cover up Moab. Aroab, the place name that is currently used to hide the ancient kingdom, Moab. This is its location in Namibia, Southwest Africa. The evidence that we have that this is the correct location of Moab is that Moab was the only kingdom that was set directly behind Mount Abarim. And as we take a look, this is the location of Moab with the place name Aroab. As we scroll, Moab sits east to Mount Abarim. This is Mount Abarim. And this is the setting, the location of Moab. All of this is Moabite territory. Again, this is Mount Abarim, and this is the ancient kingdom of Moab. And as we can clearly see that Moab is the only kingdom that is in this locale, in this area behind Mount Abarim. This is the evidence that this is the true location of the Moabite kingdom. And again, the Moabite kingdom, it is covered up with the place name Aroab, and that is a play on word. It sounds like Moab. And the cousin of Moab, Ammon, or the Ammonites, they are north of Moab. And as we scroll north, this location here with the place name Koes, spelled Koes, Koes. This is the location of the Ammonite Kingdom. This is where it's located. This is its setting, north of the Moabite Kingdom. That is one of the evidence that we have the correct location of the Ammonite Kingdom, because it is set, historically set, north of the Moabite Kingdom. Another piece of evidence that confirms the true location of the Moabite Kingdom and the Ammonite Kingdom is the Jabac River and the Arnon River. The Jabac River and the Arnon River, both rivers are scriptural, and they are located in this region, in this area, and in this area only. You see, the Arnon River, it is a tributary of the Jordan River, as well as the Jabac River. Both are tributaries of the Jordan River. As we scroll down to the Dead Sea, this is the Dead Sea, also called Lake Asphaltites and Sea of Araba. And technically, this is really the Jordan River. But the Jordan River, it flows on both ends of the Dead Sea, and it flows in this section northeast. This river here, with the place name Harib, spelled H-A-R-I-B. Harib is the place name used to cover up the Arnon River. This is the ancient and historical Arnon River. This is its true location. As we scroll up to this section here of the Jordan River, this is the Jabac River, the historical, ancient, biblical, and scriptural Jabac River. Both of these rivers are tributaries of the Jordan River, and they flow east of the Jordan. This is the location of the Arnon River and the Jabac River. And both of these rivers are evidence of the true location of the Moabite kingdom and the Ammonite kingdom, because both kingdoms, they are historically set in the vicinity of both rivers, the Jabac and the Arnon River. And the Moabite kingdom was historically set behind Mount Abarim, and immediately north of the Moabite kingdom, there lies the Ammonite kingdom, the cousin of the Moabites. So those are the evidence that we have the correct information and the true location of both kingdoms. The Mount Abarim, the Arnon River, the Jabac River are three pieces of evidence set in the earth that gives the true location of both of these kingdoms. As we pan in, we can immediately see the old ancient borders and perimeters that are set in the earth. We can see the imprints and impressions left in the earth. And all of these give us clues and understanding of the Moabite kingdom. But as we zoom in further, we can see the oddly shaped perimeter. This is ancient. This is an ancient perimeter of the Moabite kingdom. And the Moabite kingdom, it may look small here, but it was a sizable kingdom. It expanded out here. This is a grave setting. This is where the Moabites had buried their dead. But this is the Moabite kingdom, hidden with the place name Aroab. Immediately north of the Moabite kingdom is the Ammonite kingdom, the cousin of the Moabites. This is the Ammonite kingdom, covered up with the place name Koes. As we zoom in, we see the same features, ancient borders and imprints and impressions left in the earth. And we see the new and modern features of roads and old roads as well. This is the Ammonite kingdom, and the whiteness that we see here, this is not the color of the land. This is done through satellite, blocking our view of certain features in this area. The Ammonite kingdom seems to have been a larger kingdom, covered a larger amount of land than the Moabite kingdom. But one thing we know is that Koes and Aroab, the Ammonite kingdom and the Moabite kingdom, both of these kingdoms, they were never located in the Middle East. They were never the location where Iraq and Iran is currently located today, within that vicinity. The Ammonite kingdom and the Moabite kingdom, they are located in Africa, in South Africa, in Namibia, Southwest Africa.